Okay, people. Good. What are we? Good evening. Welcome to Mind Your Character with Bossede Olusola-Obasa. Our guest is here already. Mr. Scott Itepu. No dolly, no. I'll be adding you to the show shortly, just after the introductions. Thank you for joining this early. Really, thank you for joining this early. So good afternoon, evening. Why am I saying afternoon? Today was actually very fast. Was I the only one? Good afternoon, people. Welcome to Mind Your Character with Bossede Olusola-Obasa. This is the show that never leaves you the same. Thank you so much for joining. PB Williams, I see you. Grace Woman Annie, peace. Thank you so much for joining the show. How has the week been? Here on Mind Your Character, it is I'm not going to say it is with joy in our hearts, but yes, it's a lot of joy in our hearts. I will welcome you to this show. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for making our time to join the show this evening. So if you were with us last week, man, it was hot. It was steaming hot. So on the show, I had the privilege of hosting Mrs. Obasa. That's the owner, the real owner of this show. I'm just, a face you'd see anytime, any day. Mrs. Obasa is a constant factor to this show, and she was a guest last week. Also last week, I had the privilege of hosting Mrs. Folakemi Benga Oladeji. Mrs. Folakemi Benga Oladeji. She joined us last week, and it was fun. A lot of tables were broken, leaving people to, pick the pieces together. But yes, that's what this show is meant for. So while you're at home, you're in traffic, or you are still at work, you're just supposed to plug in and then enjoy the conversations, drop your contributions, and also share the link. So just like I would always say, in case you are here right now and you've not shared this link, you gotta do better than that. So please share the link, because on this show it is value addition, and we pride ourselves in leaving you better than we met you. So you join this show at exactly 5 p.m. 5:30, you are leaving a changed man. Somebody say hallelujah. So yes, that's my way of welcoming you to the show this evening. Thank you to everyone who has joined. Please share the links. Share the link with your friends, share with your family, that your group chat. Go and share this link there. Yes, we need to spread the character development word. Somebody will say we need to do more evangelism for character development. So yes, welcome to the show. So last week we discussed something very critical and important, right? Last week we spoke about how age affects personal values. How does age affect your personal value? And it was really interesting because the guests I had on this show, they did not let me breathe well. They didn't let me breathe well because they were just saying different things, and I was like, wow, are we in this race together? Are we in this journey of character development together? But yes, actually it was fun last week. And this week, today, I have another guest on this show, and I'm hoping he's still here. So right about now, I will be adding my guest to the show. Okay, let's see if he's still here. Thank you for joining Talkie Rose. It's good to have you here. Okay, let me look for Scott again. Scott, where are you? I see you. Good evening. Welcome to Mind Your Character.
Yeah, good evening. What's up, everything?
I'm fine. It's a privilege. It's an honor, sir, to see your face on this wavelength.
You said you said on this wavelength. God, please.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
How are
actually
you
a great
doing?
thing. I'm fine.
Mm.
Uh, it's a great thing to be here. When I got the the call of notice, and we
Yes.
were, trying to like build up discussions towards the 2023 NCPS. I'm like, okay, definitely.
Yes.
As a vet, as a veteran volunteer, let's do this.
I should say veteran.
Yeah, so I'm okay. I'm good. I'm chill. I'm chill.
Chill. It's really nice to have you here. So without wasting so much of the time of people that are joining, thank you, Temitope Akombi, for joining the show. In case you don't know what Mind Your Character is, I'm going to say that again. Mind Your Character is a show that is dedicated to adding value to everyone that we come across. You're wondering how? How? So we come to the show weekly with topical conversations, trending gist, things that are very important to society, and we talk about them in ways that you can relate with. Things that have to do with character development, character parenting, like we're focusing on this month and next month. So welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to be starting with a quote. This quote, I'm just going to read it. I'll read it twice, actually, and you can pick from it some things for yourself, right? So it is an anonymous quote. I wasn't able to get the person that said it or the person that came over. So bye. Thank you, Mr. Davidson. He said he's ready to receive value. Yes, 100%. So this quote is an anonymous quote, and it says, "Be a living expression of your values. Be a living expression of your values. Wear them, speak them, make decisions aligned with them." That's all. Be a living expression of your values. Speak them, make decisions aligned with them, and then wear them. So values are very critical. Personal values. You're wondering why? Why the topic? What is personal values? How do they have to do with me as an individual? So sometimes people mistake the fact that values can also be personal to you. It's not just organizations that are supposed to have core values. You as an individual, you're supposed to have things that you stand for, things that stand you out, that make you different from every other person in the room. It could be as simple as simplicity. Yes, I know what I did. It could be as simple as simplicity. So, oh, anytime I see Lola, she's always simple. She's not too excess. Everything about her is moderate. Yes, simplicity is a core value for you. So in case you are on the journey where you are still trying to find out, discover, I'll be sharing some tips with you on this show. So before I stress Scott so much, let me jump into asking you questions. So the very first thing I'm going to ask you, right, is what is your personal definition of personal values? What is core values to you? Sorry, personal values. Okay, I can't seem to get any audio from you anymore.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Sure.
Yeah. So personal value is first based on how you perceive yourself.
Okay.
And I used to start off with asking people questions. I say, what do you like? What do you not like? What are your interests?
Mm,
What what things are you not interested in? Then
mm,
if then what is one situation or one thing somebody would do, that will maybe trigger you, maybe to want to
mm.
correct them, or what's one particular bad thing or wrong thing that is persistent in society that you want to correct. So those are some of those questions, and I believe that those questions point us in the direction of what we value. So value is
Mm.
more than just money, as an individual. So I believe that personal value is also because
Mm.
I used to ask somebody, I used to ask important questions to ask them. But when it comes to a play where we have to compare, okay, there's a role of a manager. And I used to say that personal development is in levels or is in stages. That's why some persons
Mm.
can misbehave, at some certain level, and it can be permissible. We can permit them to misbehave. Sometimes you're about to say a model on share, but
Mm.
you come to a certain age, and some of these behaviors or mistakes will not be permitted again. Another instance
Mm.
or scenario is when it comes to personal value or personal development is that when you get the role of a manager or you get the role of a CEO, you know, you don't need to be educated on things like discipline or time management and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. There are basic
Yes.
things that we should have. It's just like when opportunity meets preparedness, you know. So I'm opportuned to get a role, but am I prepared at the basic level to manage that role? So these
That
are
road.
some of the very simple questions. When it comes to personal value, it is basically what you can offer, how well can you apply yourself in different scenarios and different situations, so that people can actually appreciate your presence and contributions to uh, thought processes, to strategies, to situations, and all of that. Yeah, so that's it.
Wow. Wow. It's loaded. You are loaded, sir. Amazing. Wow. That is really nice. So thank you to everyone joining. Thank you, Fan Maybe. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but thank you for joining. Mark Fire. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. Apologies. But thank you so much for joining the show. From what Scott said, one thing that stood out for me was the fact that personal values are converted eventually to your market value. So they actually play a very vital role. Your personal values, your core values as an individual, they play really critical and personal roles. I said personal again. Yes. So Scott, are you still with me?
Yeah, sure, I'm with you.
Okay, because I could not see your face for a while. Okay, I can see you now. So the next question I have for you right now, I'm going to be drawing you out and putting you on the spot a lot, if you don't mind. So my next question for you right now is how, as an individual, right? How as personal having personal values, how have they helped your growth?
Okay. Okay, as an individual, personal value of my growth. Um,
Yes.
I think one very key thing is the aspect of consciousness, and
Hmm.
I tell myself that clarity comes with time. So one of the best gifts one can have in the journey of personal growth and development is knowing exactly what you have to do in a stipulated time frame and in a particular season. Now,
Hmm.
those personal values, those core values that I hold on to, like patience, like discipline, like uh let's say I'll still call it under patience too, testing the water. I believe that we should be patient enough to test things before we actually go into it. So you want to start up a business, be patient enough
Yeah.
to study other businesses, to study the industry, the market before actually venturing into that business. So these very key values have helped my personal development group so well in the sense that I can try out newly discovered skills for a while, and there's
Hmm.
really not the pressure of having to model up or try to manage a lot of things at the same time. And actually destroyed the aspect of multitasking. Like, really, why exactly do you need to multitask when you can study all of these skills together and see how they merge into one? So patience has also informed my personal development journey in the direction of being able to effectively strategize. So, okay, how exactly are we going to add all of these three different things? And to be very candid, we disregard some basic character value systems or some basic
Yes.
skills. And we think that everything is about being a tech bro, or
Mm,
when we mention skills, we don't even remember some of those core things. They are very core, basic. That's the baseline of all of our career. Your character can make or break you in 1 second,
mm,
you know. So that's basically the baseline. And over the years, I have been able to try out different things. I've been understanding the fact that there's a people factor, having to properly work with people. So it's from discipline up to patience, those two things. And now when it comes to the aspect of discipline, discipline is not just all about being strict, but discipline is actually helping you to understand your boundaries between you and people. Because some
mm,
persons, you really cannot control how other people will behave. You have little influence of the character of other persons. So you need to just understand that all of what you're doing is, you must ensure that you are a constant work in progress. So for me as a
mm.
person, these two basic things have been the bedrock, they have been the baseline, and they've informed my journey to be able to see possibilities in each of the various seasons I find myself. And then the aspect of patience also made me understand the concept of time frame and time zone. Time zone meaning that like the normal 24 hours is a time zone, everybody in 24 hours. But the time frame is that everybody have their specific timing, so you do not have
Mm.
to rush or have to go out of your moral the blockings just to try to get something. And this is where this the dent on our character system, value system begins to play. Because you see somebody is already doing 10 steps ahead of you, and you're just at level
Yes, so.
one. You begin to have self-esteem issues. You begin to develop envy.
God
You
when.
begin to
Mm.
be covetous, and like then you start doing things like eye service and try to do 1, 2, 3, 5 things that will make you to be seen in that particular light, to increase
Yeah.
other people's perception of yourself. And I really don't think that's the case, because your time frame is that you have your time frame, you have your time, your activities, you have your journey. My journey is not another person's journey. What I may
Yes.
do in 1 second, another
Mm-hmm.
person may take another person 5 seconds to do. And what
Yes.
somebody may
That's,
do in 3 months, it may take the other person 5 years to do it. And now,
mm-hmm.
better ways to even make the time frame even faster is being consistent. If I'm showing up, how well are you showing up? If you're showing up, how well are you showing up doing what you love to do? In that case, there's the season of accelerated growth. People just think it's accelerated. Why? Because you are moving faster in a 24-hour time zone. You know,
Mm.
next day you have done this, next the third day you have done this. But in your own time, your own timing, you're actually investing a lot. You are putting
Yeah.
hours of work, and yeah, and you're even personally punishing yourself, your internal build up, your morals and all
Mm-hmm.
of that. So
Mm-hmm.
hard work without character or personal
And
character value is zero.
is
Yeah.
there. Yes. I love that last line. Hard work without character, without personal values. Oof. Zero. Zero. Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you. Hey, this time you're already talking like this. Are you sure we'll leave here 5:30? So I'm going to be asking the major question,
Okay.
like the very main question today. So I'd like you to just make it very brief, right? Because of time.
Sure.
So do you think that exposure influences personal values? Like let me take my time to explain. So if for instance you grew up and from home, your parents already instilled some values in you, you have family values, and also while you were in school, you found yourself, you eventually found your identity as a person, right? And then you get into the workforce. That is an exposure. You get exposed to new sets of people, you get exposed to a new environment, you get exposed to different cultures, you get exposed to people with different mindsets. And some of these levels, different levels of exposure, do you think that they can affect an individual's personal value? Like, that is the breakdown of the question.
Okay.
So just let
Yes.
us.
Yeah. Yes, it does. When we're young or younger, because I'm still young, when we're younger, my dad had friends, they take us to their friends' places, especially during festive period, or when we
Mm,
attend our friends, family friends, birthday parties and all of that. And sometimes when we go there, you see the way, you know, especially where there's affluence, there's people, rich, wealthy
mm,
people. So, and over time, I don't know, maybe it's the grace of, I believe it should be the grace of God. Having to be in those settings and you go motivated, like, okay, this place, I
yeah.
think, be like this. And you ask yourself, what are the necessary things you need to be like this? And you see some of these people, you see, okay, they are great people and they are humble as well. Then there's the nudge to pick up those qualities. Whereas on the other hand, some persons will go out there, look at the way people behave and think that's the passport to success. Some persons might be able to
Yes.
perfectly, put together the formula to be successful, but do not have the perfect
Mm,
recipe, proper character
mm,
and values. You know, so if the 5-year-old is rich and arrogant, doesn't make it the pathway to being successful. So some persons may just want to
mm,
necessarily or unnecessarily pick up some of those attributes and believe that, yeah, it will work for them, and they will say fake it till you make it, and just keep doing it. Then when they become part
yes.
and parcel, no, you know,
Mm,
all of us have various social background and educational background systems. And I believe that for something to have brought you thus far and taken towards the direction of excellence, I really do not think any negative uh, character or culture
yes.
should be the trigger to being successful.
Mm,
Everybody is just like mathematics, is like a formula. You put up your own formula, and luckily
mm,
the younger generations will come after you and pick them up because they're actually very positive. So I believe that
mm.
exposure, how well exposed you are. Some persons on the hand may have
You,
bad character, and when they now get
yes.
exposed, they now say, okay, this is exactly how life is. And there's the popular saying that it takes a whole village to train a child. So if the child leaves his house, you will see how he or she is supposed to behave, at least at one corner or one place in the village there. So I believe that culture, exposure actually influences the character culture. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, amazing. Please, I'm seeing a lot of comments. Thank you, Chisom Robinson, for joining. Thank you, Adekunle Riesi, my friend. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Fade Timi, for joining. So, what I would say before we move into the NCPS conversation, which I'm very excited about, by the way. So, what I'm going to say to everyone watching is fine, you can be social, you can be trending and still have strong personal values. You can be social, you can be trending and still have strong personal values that are positive. So it's not everything that you get exposed to that should be able to influence you in the negative way. So I'm going to be picking it from the positive side, right, of influence, of exposure trying to get you better. So you should improve. Being exposed to something should, okay, increase broaden your perspective to life. Oh, okay, wow. So some people, there are people that actually believe this. There are people that actually think like this. Wow, that is amazing. But I know what works for me. I'm not going to move just because somebody or something, it can even be an authority, a figure of authority that you know or that you come across. So exposure, yes, can influence you. Exposure, yes, can affect you, but you should not permit it to influence you in the negative way. You
Exactly.
should not permit it to allow you move away from your core values, from things you already know. It is great to unlearn, relearn, and also unlearn, right? But that should be tilted more towards the very positive side. So thank you everyone for joining. I have so much to share, but we have to wrap up very shortly. So there's an event we host. When I say we, I mean people at First Real Character and Values Limited. We host National Character Parenting Summit. The National Character Parenting Summit. We call it NCPS. That was what Scott was talking about. I mean, in the first 4 minutes I joined, he referred to himself as a veteran volunteer, of course. So, Scott, how many years? How many years have you been doing this?
Okay, let me count because every
Mm-hmm.
year I have to count.
Oh, yeah, count.
2016, 2016,
Okay,
2017,
okay,
2018.
okay,
I was not around 2019.
okay. You were around
2020,
2020. I remember.
2021.
Did I see you? I don't think I saw you then,
No,
2021.
2020, no, wait. 2022. That's 5 years.
Wow. Wow. You deserve a round of applause. Please help me clap for Scott. Wow, that's amazing. You've been volunteering at the National Character Parenting Summit for 5 amazing years. Thank you so much. On behalf of my own guy at the top, who is the convener, I would like to appreciate you. Right? It's not easy to volunteer for something, sharing your time, your energy, your resources, and your intellectual capacity, man. And I know Scott. Scott has always served in the publicity team. He's always online. He's always helping us with quotes. He's a worded man. That's the job of deep people, though. Very deep. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. So what are you looking forward to? No, before I move to what are you looking forward to, don't let me skip this question. I love the question. So which of the editions, this is the 9th edition of the National Character Parenting Summit. Which of the editions so far that you volunteered at, which of them stood out for you? You can't forget it. Which one? If you can't remember the year, you remember the theme. If you can't remember the theme, you remember the discussant that said something.
Ah, there was a particular year.
Okay.
The speakers were mostly ladies. Uh,
Hmm.
uh, there was this. Uh, I can remember them. Like I can remember,
Their
but
faces. Okay.
yes, I can remember. But I know their mother was there. That's
That
yeah,
must have been 2019. Oh, no, 18.
yeah,
Was I?
yes. I think so. No, that
Okay.
SDPS was sweet. And there was this other lady. There was this other lady too. I think she and her husband they kind of run a school kind of character kind of
Oh,
character.
this is Yaya. Yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
So that part is super. I was like, okay. When this lady will say I would, this other very calm lady will just throw it in. Yeah, so
Yes.
that year too was a very sweet one. And she brought the balls of your view,
Mm.
to the event. And that particular year was very interesting. I think mostly about young children. There was something about young children, Shana, that they were talking
Mm.
about. I was just I even
Oh.
forgot the caption I was supposed to be writing. I forgot the caption I was supposed to be writing. I was listening and I think sharp, very good, very good. So that particular, I think it should be
Wow.
2018 because the color was mostly bright. I think it was that lemon year color before the color
Yes.
was changed to just white and purple. So I think it was like I can see it with like the
Mm.
shape of it. I see it stretching. Yeah, it's 2018.
Mhm. You can see it. You can see it. Imagine. And this was how many years ago? So in case you don't know what National Character Parenting Summit, it's a place where we discuss character parenting. In case you don't know what character parenting is, I mean, you need to come to NCPS and learn how that it's not just the children that you should be screaming on. Oh, why are you not this? Why are you not so telling the truth? Why are you not this? Why are you not this? I mean, basic character qualities. Imagine that is when you see a parent that will tell the child, oh, somebody's at the door. can't tell them I'm not around. How do you expect a child like that?
That's why I should
Exactly.
not lie.
How do you
That's
expect a
why.
child like that to grow properly, learning honesty as a character trait? How? So at NCPS, we go into different parenting issues. So it's a place where young adults, yes, people that are getting ready to be married. It's not until you get married and you start giving birth to children that you now start thinking, how will I now train these children? No, no, ma, you are late. Sir, you need to start
Very
learning
nice.
now.
Yeah.
Yes, this is very critical, and as a nation, we need to invest more in character development. So in case you've not registered for NCPS, it's holding on Saturday, 30th of September in Lagos. Yes, and this year we're going to be talking about something that is very critical. We are going back to the basics. What does value mean? Gong, 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 gong. And guess what? It is free. It is free. Like always free. You get exposed to, I mean, last year Jay on Air was with us last year, and somebody came to meet me and the person was like, wow, I never knew Jay on Air can be this deep. I'm like, just calm down. You need to see people in their elements when it comes to the discussants of annual session at NCPS. So yes, you need to register with the link in our bio. Register for NCPS, so don't let us come and tell you just about it. So Scott, I need you to hear. So yes, tell them why they should come for NCPS and tell them that you'll be there.
Okay. So just like Dorcas has said, and you don't have to be a parent until you start learning, so that you will not
Yes.
borrow a lot of past questions. So start
Mm.
packing your own past questions.
Right?
And then CBS for parenting just now, because life or parenting is not about do's and don'ts. It's not the Ten Commandments. Even the Old Testament, they had to use New Testament and be writing letters to all of us. So what's just important is that we start from a basic level of learning, get to learn
Mm-hmm.
from other person's experiences. From there,
Yes.
we begin to project our own views. Okay, you now begin to rearrange how you have decided, because sometimes some situations will happen, you say, if that was my child, then what I would have done. So that's thing that you
Mm.
want to do, come and learn how to do it well, or whether you even
Yeah.
need to do it at all. So it's I would say it's futuristic, experiential, and it's practical. So if
Mm.
there's any reason why you need to be at NCPS, please do it for your future generation.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love that. Do it for your future generation. I think I used to hear someone say there are so many destinies attached to your own. You cannot afford
Yes,
to miss it. You
no,
cannot
of
afford
course.
to make
Maybe
wrong.
your own variable in the equation is parenting that you'll have just done.
Mm.
Oh, I think you have trained your child right.
Mhm.
If a mistake or that has affected the lineage will not happen. So we don't know where the shoe will
Mm.
pin. So it's better we correct that part before it pinches.
Right. Wow, it's been an amazing time. Please, if you agree with me, let me see you in the comment section. Let me know. Let me know some of the things you picked from the session today. The show, I'm already saying session because this is very educative. So thank you so much, Scott, my guy. Thank you for joining. Really, I look
Thank
forward to seeing you at NCPS this year, and it's going to be amazing. Like we already started planning this singing house since like last month. You're signing out. I see you. I see you. All right, guys. Join us. Same time, same station, same venue. Mind your character. One. Join us this time next week. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week. Don't drink and drive, right? And don't fight in the public domain. Actually, you should not be a fighter. You should be a lover of peace. You should be a promoter of love. So bye. Thank you so much, everyone that joined. Thank you, Grace from Annie. Thank you, PB Williams. Thank you, Daddy Cross. Thank you, the Larry Gold. Thank you, Happiness. Thank you, Tolufa Dumiye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was an amazing time. I had fun. So I'm just going to be waiting for us to exit before I end the show. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you join next week and register for NCPS. The link is in the bio. Register, register, register. Bye, guys. Bye.